can't hear me because all these cars are going by and stuff. So, while out touring our grand country, the wife and I and Tweaks went over this motocross jump. You know, those cracks in the highway that kind of point up in the air like that, shot us up in the air. I say we went up 50 feet, but it was probably more like 5 inches up in the air. Come down pretty hard, fully loaded with gear and stuff. And ever since that time, all right, it's kind of has had me concerned. Ever since that time, I've been hearing this clunk, 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 clunk. So hitting. What do they call those things, Cher? Do you remember what we call them? Those things in the highway when you're
buckle?
When you
buckle?
don't see, yeah, a buckle,
yeah.
a heat buckle. The heat buckles that make whoopie-doos, or I don't know if anybody else has ever seen them or bumped into them or anything. But if you hit them going highway speeds, you know, like we don't usually drive when we're driving down those concrete highways. We don't usually drive 50. Usually we're going closer to 75-ish. My wife's got a smiling because I'm governed. She's got me governed. She's my governor. She got me governed at just triple digits, 100 miles an hour. That's it. She's my speed limiter. So anyway, but if you're traveling like that and you miss one of these, some people may call them a speed bump. Some people might just call them a thump thump. Other people might call them I call them a highway jump, because if you hit them just right, you will get air on them, and we did. But when you're on a fully loaded touring bike, 2 people on a fully loaded touring bike probably shouldn't spend a lot of time going over jumps, all right? And this is probably why, because I noticed this shortly after that. I started noticing this. Now listen to this really close. Listen to this really close when I rock Tweaks. Whoa! When I rock Tweaks back. Don't put your custom. Listen really close. Now this is probably what it's supposed to sound like. Wait a minute, I gotta put it in gear. When you're riding it, it's really, 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 it can be really exaggerated, but listen real close. After this car goes by, people love to interrupt our videos. Watch this. So, you hear that's nice and thunk, thunk. Well, listen if I rock this really, really hard now. Listen. You hear that? Listen. Hear it? Hear that?
Yep.
Well, that clunk, 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 clunk isn't supposed to be in there. Now, we rode a lot of miles finishing off touring with that noise in there. Because that tearing a bike all apart on the side of the highway isn't one of my fondest dreams. Although we've done it successfully, haven't we? A couple different times. Mm-hmm. Had to do flat tires and stuff, but I didn't want to dismantle her whole back end out there on the highway. So now that we're home here in our garage with all the tools, I'm going to dismantle this thing. And we're going to find out what that noise is. So if you have this, if you take your bike and you do this, what I'm doing right here, and you hear this noise? Hear it?
Yes.
Stick with me. Stick with me. It sounds like it's somewhere in the back drivetrain. So the engine, if I have to pull the engine out, it's not going to get found. We're not going to find out what it is, but we're going to find out what that noise is, okay? And just to let the people that are watching this know what can happen if you take a Yamaha Venture, an old 1983 Yamaha Venture with thousands of miles on it, fully packed up with all its gear on it, and a passenger on the back, and you go over a jump. What can happen? Okay, we're gonna find out right now.